Change doesn't begin with everyone. It just begins with one person, whether that's your mom or a family member or someone of that nature. Like, change can begin with one individual person, and one small act of kindness towards them can ripple outward. You don't need to save the world to make it better, just do your little part, the little bit that you do every day, whether that's picking up trash on the side of the highway, contributing to your community, feeding the homeless. I remember when I was a kid, we went and fed the homeless. We had like yoo-hoos and like pudding and some other stuff, and we went and gave them out to the homeless and, made their day better. It was on like a holiday. I think it was on like Christmas or something of that nature, but, we had a really good time. But yeah, caring for one person creates a chain reaction throughout the world. And, you can make their day better and improve what they're going through. Big impact starts with small bits of good intentions. Help the person in front of you first. And, the world feels lighter when one person feels seen. So, make sure that person feels seen and it feels like, you've done your part to contribute to them and care for them. And, kindness, it grows when it's shared one-to-one. There's so many moments in my life where I was talking to someone and I just felt an overwhelming sense that I needed to provide something to them. And that's what I did. I would choose the right words to make sure that they knew that I cared and that they were seen and that they felt loved. You can't pour into everyone, but you can pour into someone. And real change, it's personal before it's global. Just start with one person, one conversation, and that one conversation can change a life. Just telling someone that they belong here and that you love them, that you care for them, that means the world to people. And being there matters more than being everywhere. So just be next to that person and keep them company and reach out to them, and see if they want to hang out or go do something nice together, whether it's going to eat at a cheap restaurant or going for a walk by the river or wherever nature is near you, We have a river place that we go for. And it's really fun. It makes for a good experience. You don't need to have a platform to make a difference, But platforms do help, I do recommend, starting a YouTube channel because it's a really fun experience and it's a way you can reach out to people and help people. I've been helping people on this channel for quite a while now, and I'm proud of how far we've come on this channel. And care is the strongest when it's focused. Helping one person is help many. And the world is built from individual moments. Those little beautiful moments where you shared a good conversation or did some form of an act of kindness. A single act of love can forever. And, you make the world better by showing up for someone. And impact starts with attention and paying attention to someone and giving them your time. And, care, it begins with presence. And one person at a time is more than enough. The smallest gestures carry the most meaning. And you don't fix everything. You And, change grows through connection. Every life you touch actually matters. And you don't need to create value. The world changes through relationships. And, kindness multiplies, in silence. And you're next to that person and you choose that one happy thought, it kind of starts with other happy thoughts and continues to, grow into something more. One person's day can be changed by you. Just care deeply, even if it's just for one. And the world notices when someone feels cared for. And it starts that, like I said, that chain reaction. And if someone else sees you be kind to someone, if someone else witnesses you being nice and sharing kind words with someone, then other people feel inspired and they're like, oh, I should also do that. And the more people that see that, the bigger that relationship. That the small circles, they create big waves. Help people breathe easier today. One person so many people. As long as you focus your energy where it goes. And meaningful impact is never rushed, you know? It's something you do when you're just like feeling calm, and you know, you take your time with those people. You don't rush through those conversations. You really give it your all, and it really has a lasting impact. And there are so many times when there was conflict or something of that nature, when people in my family would be fighting or something like that, I would, you know, join the conversation with a form of kindness, and it really simmered things down and allowed things to go in a better direction. One kind moment can outlast, you know, and you don't need recognition to create change, you know. Just because you're being nice and being kind and stuff like that, it doesn't mean you have to be completely noticed for that, you know. Sometimes just knowing that you did the right thing is more than enough, you know, and you can sit with that for a while and feel good about what you're doing, you know. Care spreads through action, not words alone. So, you know, like, do those kind deeds, like I was just talking about earlier, how we went and fed the homeless, you know. Maybe go pick up some garbage around where you live, or maybe reach out to a friend or something like that instead of just talking on Facebook Messenger. See if they want to get together and go to like a restaurant or something of that nature. And if you lift one person, you're lifting more than you see, you know. And the world improves through individual hearts that have been touched by kind actions, that have been touched by what you've done, what you said, you know. And choose depth over distance, you know. Don't distance yourself from people. Get into those deep conversations and, you know, find out about that person and see how you can help them with what words you have to say. Be the reason one person feels okay today, you know. Real change is something that's built beneath the surface. It's always going to feel worth it in the end. You are enough to help someone. And the world heals in small pieces, like little bits at a time. And that's really awesome that we're able and capable of actually doing that. And, you know, healing the world in those small pieces. One act of care is never wasted, you know? Show up for something, even if it's in small ways, you know? The beginning of everything is just one person. You know, talking to another person and giving them, you know, good insight and kind words and telling them, like, oh my god, your dreams matter. I care about what you're feeling. I care about you being okay. I care about you being who you know that you are, you know? And you can keep people from doing that. But yeah, caring for the world, it starts right now, right here, right where you are. And that's pretty much all I've got for this one. I really do appreciate the support. We've been getting a good amount of views on the shorts, the long form, stuff like that. We're about 60K in the last month, which is huge to me. You know, if you just imagine all those people in a room, that's actually a lot of people. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next one.